Welcome to Sport Resort, a channel that will be covering all things sports. In this video, I'll be going over my personal top 10 NHL affiliated prospects. Kicking it off at number 10, I have Detroit Red Wings prospect Simon Edvinsson. Standing at 6'6", Edvinsson's calling card is obviously his height and reach, but he pairs that with elite skating ability. Currently playing for the Grand Rapids Griffins in the AHL, Edvinsson has logged 6 goals and 15 assists for 21 points in 34 games so far this season. While he might not be an offensive dynamo at the next level, I still expect Simon Edvinsson to be a steady producer in the NHL. Moving on to number 9, I have New Jersey Devils prospect Simon Nemec, who is currently split time this year between the Devils and the Utica Comets in the AHL. While Nemec still needs to work on his defensive game, his offense is obviously clear as he's such a talented skater and he can really move the puck with ease. Going forward, I expect Nemec to be a top pairing defender and a perennial 60-point producer. Moving on to number 8, I have fan favorite Dallas Stars prospect Logan Stankoven. Now with Stankoven, the one knock always against him is his size, but he's completely shut down that narrative as one of the AHL's top point producers this season. And while it's still unclear how his size will affect him at the NHL level, the way he's producing in the AHL, you just have to hope it translates over. For me, I personally believe in the skill, and I think he ends up as a top 6 forward in the NHL. At 7th, I have Buffalo Sabres prospect Yuri Kulik, who just put on an absolute show at the World Juniors this year. Similar to Stankoven, Kulik has also been one of the AHL's highest point producers this season, and that is mostly because of his shot. Kulik can basically rip it from anywhere, and that's his strong suit in his game. I truly think he does have 30 goal potential in his future in the NHL with Buffalo. Coming in at number 6, I have Brant Clark, Los Angeles Kings prospect, and a very raw prospect that is. In order for Clark to really make that jump at the NHL level, he has to round out his defensive game, which has proven to be not completely reliable so far. The offensive potential is obvious and completely untapped. He can score goals, he has a good first pass, but it's really just a defensive game that will make or break whether he becomes a top pairing defender at the NHL. If he can even just hold his own at the highest level, I think a top pairing defender is in his future. In the top 5, at number 5, I have Lane Hutson. Honestly, heading into the 2022 draft, I had Lane Hutson in my first round because I absolutely just admire his skating ability. The way he could just break out on his own is something like I've honestly never seen before. With 28 points in 19 games with Boston University in just his second year with them, his offensive upside is very clear. And I think he becomes a true number 1 for the Montreal Canadiens some point in the near future. Ryan Leonard comes in at number 4. He is a Washington Capitals prospect. Leonard plays a big, strong, physical, power forward game. And although he doesn't stand out in any one particular facet of the game, he's just all around really solid player. To me, he's a safe bet for a top 6 player with the potential to be a first liner. This moves me to number 3, and at number 3, I have Cutter Gauthier. Now, obviously, there's been lots of controversy around Cutter recently for rightful reasons, but the bottom line is you still just can't deny the talent. He's just an animal on the ice. He can shoot, he can pass, he can score, he can hit. He was a major reason why Team US won the gold at the World Juniors. And as much as it's crazy to say, his game reminds me a lot of Matthew Tkachuk's. But with that being said, I don't think he reaches Tkachuk's level, but I definitely think he can get near or close to it. In the second spot, one of my personal favorites and property of the San Jose Sharks, I have Will Smith. The clear and simple word to describe Smith is skill, skill, skill. His skating's elite, his shot's elite, his hand's elite. Basically everything with Smith is elite. It just depends on if he can translate that at the highest level of the game. He's also not the biggest guy on the ice, so it still needs to be said that we have to see how he fares against bigger competition. Regardless, he'll be the key piece for the Sharks in their rebuild moving forward, and I truly think he's going to be their number 1 center. Finally, earning that number 1 spot, I have Philadelphia prospect Matvei Michkov. It wasn't too long ago the debate was up in the air between Connor Bedard and Matvei Michkov and who was a better prospect. By the end of that debate, though, it was clear Connor was, but I also think that people just forget about Matvei because of the whole Russia scandal and the fact that he won't be in the NHL for at least the next 4 or 5 seasons. But when he does come over at the age of 23, 24, I do think he's going to be a perennial all-star, an elite superstar at that. I think he can score 40 goals, similar to how Kaprizov did when he came over. Well, that concludes the video. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you agree or what your thoughts are on this list. See you next time.